Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true?
Our investigation found that there was classified information sent.
So it was not true?
Right. That's what I said. It's not accurate to say that she did not send or receive classified.
So she did not tell the truth during that presidential debate that she never sent or received classified information and it was retroactively classified.
I don't think that's a question I should be answering. What was in her head during...
Either your statement's not true or hers is not true. Both of them cannot be true.
So the former Secretary of State, one of the president's most important advisors on foreign policy and national security, had a server in her basement that had information that was collected from our most sensitive assets, and it was not protected by anyone, and that's not a crime? That's outrageous.
One case closed is another one about to open. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maria Bartiromo. In today for Il Cavud, your world. Republicans threatening a possible perjury probe over what Hillary Clinton said then versus what the FBI director is confirming now.
There was nothing marked classified on my emails, either sent or received, and I want to respond.
Use the right term there. Use marked. Yeah, that's what you revised. Use the revised statement there.
You did find more than 100 emails that were classified that had gone through that server, correct?
Right, through an unclassified server, correct.
Yes. So Hillary Clinton did come to possess documents and materials containing classified information via email on these unsecured servers, correct?
That is correct.
A reaction right now from Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us.
You bet, Maria. Good to be with you.
Did Jim Comey's answer satisfy this committee?
Well, I don't think so, but look, to the issue about whether she gave false statements under oath, I think she did. I think she did 4 of them. He told us he did not look at that issue, which is, I guess, somewhat surprising. You know, you would think when the person under investigation testifies under oath in front of Congress and she's asked specific questions about her server email situation, you'd think that'd be something they'd look at. But, yeah, she made statements there that are directly contradicted by what Mr. Comey's investigation uncovered, like the fact that she said her legal team reviewed every single email. Mr. Comey said that they did not review every single email. She said that she sent every work-related email to the State Department. Mr. Comey said she did not. So there are a number of things she said that are just false based on the investigation Mr. Comey conducted relative to her testimony under oath to us last October.
So are you now investigating perjury?
Well, I think that's appropriate. We'll see what Chairman Gowdy and Chairman Chaffetz want to do. But frankly, I don't think there's anything that precludes the FBI from looking at that now. They said they need a referral. Maybe they're going to get that from the United States Congress and from those 2 respective committees.
It was interesting to me that he didn't look at that earlier testimony, as you just noted, as well as the fact that his interview with Secretary Clinton was not recorded. It was not under oath. Was that odd?
All this plays into this perception that's out there, a very real perception, that there are now 2 standards in this great country. There's one for we the people and an entirely different one for the connected political class. And that's unfortunate. That is wrong. That shouldn't be the case. I always come back to, remember what took place here, the underlying situation. She decides to set up this unique email situation and server situation, as Mr. Comey testified today, an unauthorized server that she set up. She controls it. She puts her personal work-related Clinton Foundation information, and we now know classified information on that server. And then she is discovered. Then it's found out. Then she's caught in this situation. And what does she do? Her legal team decides on the front end which ones they're going to give to us and which ones they're going to keep. And then the ones that they kept, they deleted them. They destroyed them. And Mr. Comey said the lawyers took their devices and erased things in such a way that there could not be a complete forensic recovery. Sounds like a fancy way of saying they hid the evidence. And that's the part that troubles so many Americans. And frankly, that, when he got into this intent issue, that to me shows it looks like they had this scheme to hide information from the get-go. When they got caught, they further did things to hide information. That seems to me to show intent.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising that Jim Comey did not seem to agree to that or buy into that.
Right, right. Well, look, he reached his conclusion. but I think a lot of Americans are scratching their head, and now the fact that we know, based on what his investigation showed, that Mrs. Clinton gave false statements to Congress back in October, I think that's big news as well.
There was also some news that we learned today about the shared information with people who were not really in the circle of those being able to see the classified information. Listen to this exchange. I want to get your reaction to it.
Let me go back to this. Yes or no? Were there or were there not classified emails that Hillary Clinton's attorneys read?
I don't know whether they read them at the time.
Did Hillary Clinton give non-cleared people access to classified information?
Yes.
Congressman.
Again, that's why so many Americans are wondering, why the decision was the one that Mr. Comey made. Look, you're not supposed to do that. And to Mark Meadows' questions, Congressman Meadows' questions I thought were good. He got into this almost, was she sophisticated enough to understand she shouldn't be doing these kind of things? For goodness sake.
Yeah.
She was the former First Lady. She was Secretary of State. She was Senator. Now she's a Democrat nominee for the highest office in the land. They've been in politics for I don't know how long in this country. If they don't understand these kind of issues, then what reasonable person would? So of course they understood it, and that's what again makes this even more troublesome.
Congressman, as we wrap up here, Jim Comey was very clear and tried to go overboard, saying like he's independent and there was no politics involved in this investigation. Do you believe that to be true?
One of the things he said is you make these decisions based on the context of the person's actions. And when you hear the word context, it was kind of interesting. I think a lot of Americans are saying, was the context the fact that, she was former Secretary of State and former First Lady, and her husband just met with the person you work for, Mr. Comey, Loretta Lynch, on a tarmac in Arizona 5 days ago. Did that weigh in on the context? Of course, Mr. Comey said it didn't, and we'll take him for what he said. But a lot of Americans are wondering, was that part of the context for making the decision that was made?
For sure, they really are. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much.
You bet. Thank you.
We appreciate your time this afternoon. Right to Judge Jeanine Pirro we go, host of the Fox News program Justice with Judge Jeanine. Good to see you, Judge.
Good to see you.
Was justice served today?
Clearly not. And, Maria, Congressman Jordan is correct. It is the facts and circumstances surrounding certain behaviors that speak to and louder than the words themselves. Here's the bottom line. Jim Comey was a respected guy. And, I was looking forward to this because I worked with him as a DA, he was a U.S. attorney. And I was so disappointed today because this reeked of politics. Jim Comey should be better than this, and he wasn't. For Jim Comey to say, oh, we really didn't look at whether or not she perjured herself in front of Congress, and now they're saying they need a referral, hogwash. You can read something in the newspaper and investigate it as the FBI. Yeah. This is a very, very dark day, again, for criminal justice and the institutional respect that people have for the Department of Justice and the FBI. Jim Comey disappointed a lot of people today. A lot of us thought, maybe there was just more to it. This was pure politics. For him to say, and try to dance around, did she send it or didn't she? It's a yes or no question, yes or no answer.
4 months away from a major presidential election, you have to wonder if, in fact, he was feeling the pressure and perhaps that got in the way of some of the decision-making.
Maria, he's better than that. Look, the head of the FBI...
That's what everybody says.
J. Edgar Hoover. It doesn't matter who the president is. The man has a 10-year term. And I'm telling you right now, J. Edgar Hoover is spinning in his grave. He went through every possible loophole he could to provide her with cover. Yeah. And that is a sad, sad commentary on the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Just ask Congressman Jordan if they are now pursuing a perjury probe. What did you make of his answer? He said it's up to Trey Gowdy, and he'll wait to see what he said.
Well, really? That's what I'm saying. You don't need someone to refer you what is obviously a crime. Let me ask you this. Martha Stewart said one thing to an FBI agent that was not true. She went to jail for a year. Hillary Clinton lied to the American public over and over about classified information for a year and nothing. This is a dual system of justice, and as someone who devoted her life to it, I am so disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's what we're hearing from viewers as well. What do you think where does this go next?
Well, the Democrats are going to say, you know what, we told you you're overdoing it and you guys are overreacting. Who cares about our emails? But it's the middle. We've got to get the middle. And I think that today helped Donald Trump. Whether you like him or you don't like him, here's the bottom line. This woman has danced with federal prosecutors for far too long, and the middle now has it in their court.
All right, we will leave it there. I know I'm going to see you tomorrow on the Fox Business Network.
Tomorrow morning.
Mornings with Maria. Thank you so much. Judge Janine, next up on